Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation, and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. Let go of negative thinking and stop living for the weekend. With your host, Fran Excel.
So welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel Mindset Coach helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm very grateful you've chosen to put me in your earbuds today. Please do hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything, and do leave me a review. I love reading them, and it really helps me get found by other people who need to hear what I share. I'd also love you to email me your mindset and productivity questions or topics you'd love me to cover to hello@franexcel.com, because I know a lot of you think I'm inside your heads because you tell me all the time. But if I don't know what you need, I can't give it to you. So let me know. Hello and welcome back to the replay series, reminding you of all the power you still have right at your fingertips, global pandemic or no global pandemic. Certainty is a funny thing. You can listen to this with a lovely little bit of hindsight to it. Because if you think back to March 2020, when lockdown was announced, you could feel the panic across the country. Everyone wanted or needed answers, but there were none to be had. We all wanted all the things we tell ourselves we can rely on, like deadlines, certain ways of doing things, being able to find answers when we want them, time frames. It all went out the window. But for many, this has been a massive catapult outside the normal way of doing things, which has actually allowed us to question everything. You know, question the way we do things, the way we think about things, the way we look at things, all of it, which means we have an opportunity to see some things for what they really are, instead of what we always thought they were, or rather accepted and told ourselves they were. You still with me? So have a listen to the rest of this episode and think back to how you felt at the beginning of lockdown to now. For many, there is still a big need for it to end. For others, it's actually been hugely embraced. Whichever camp you're in, there will be a part of you, no matter how small, that began to accept the uncertainty in one way or another. So even if you're still having a difficult time, you can take a small piece of comfort in how you can handle the unknown, how you can cope with uncertainty. Yeah. And if you're still struggling, please remember there are lots of places for you to turn. You've got Anxiety UK, Samaritans, all of that good stuff. There are some amazing charities out there doing amazing work. So until next time, enjoy and stay safe. So welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel Mindset Coach helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. So today's episode is all about letting go of certainty in your business, and also how you can create a little of it. So certainty is something that I see so many entrepreneurs craving, including me. So many people who are trying to go after their dreams and change their lives for the better. They want that thing that says, this is absolutely 100% going to work. You just go out there, plan, go for it. You know, everything's going to go 100% according to plan. But the reality is that unfortunately, it doesn't quite work like that, as we all know. Certainty also doesn't work like that in any other area of your life. So it's kind of funny that we expect it in our business. So is there really any such thing? There really isn't, you know, in this game. But a form of certainty does lie in the things that we tell ourselves and the things that we believe wholeheartedly, whether it is actually there or not, you know. So, for example, certainty is not often questioned in a job, right? The accepted belief is that you'll stay there until you don't want to stay anymore. It feels really certain to our brains. But of course, it's not really the true reality. In jobs, people get let go. They get made redundant. Roles change. Companies go under. Bonuses reduce. Terms change. All sorts can happen. We just have the perception that a corporate job is safer, in inverted commas, so it feels more certain to us. which also then in turn allows us to relax a little bit more into it. Yeah. So we're searching for something that just doesn't really come with the territory of owning your own business. And that's okay. We just need to reframe it to ourselves and get more comfortable with it. And there are absolutely ways to do that. So waiting for absolute certainty is a surefire way to delay your progress and to self-sabotage. Trust me, I know. So what would you rather? Would you rather struggle and hustle, always doing all the things that are making you busy being busy and not actually getting anywhere, rather than actually putting yourself out there just in case it doesn't quite go according to plan? You can do that, sure. But where do you think your business will be in a year? Where do you think you'll be in a year? Stop hiding. Stop letting fear and uncertainty get in your way. It is now or never. Because all of that waiting for everything to be perfect, not launching because you don't have all the pieces in place just yet, will just mean that that tomorrow or next week you're waiting for, it just won't come. Yeah? So the trouble is, our brains are actually wired for certainty. It craves, your brain craves it and needs it. But as an entrepreneur, it just can't have it. But what do I mean by wired for it? So you actively get rewarded by your brain for facts and information. Lovely little hits of dopamine aplenty coming your way with all that jazz. It also almost feels as if you get punished in a way for not having all the answers, because it activates your threat response in your brain. It feels stressful and uneasy and genuinely to your brain as if there is a threat to your life. It's the same response mechanism. It's also flipping exhausting trying to predict outcomes all the time, so that part's not fun either. But the funny thing is that uncertainty is actually more stressful than actually being certain of a negative outcome. Mind blown. For example, when we're running late for a train, go basic kit. When we're running late for a train and we're not sure if we're going to make it, yeah, that feeling if you're in the car and you're trying to get to the train, or you're running and you're just not sure if you're going to make it and you're trying. That versus knowing we've already missed the train. Which is more stressful? What do you do in each of those scenarios? When you know that you've missed the train, you just wait for the next one and you deal with it, right? You work out all the ways that you can make it work for you. You know, so many different things. It's a much more positive experience knowing that you've already missed the train. Yeah? So what we have to do is change the way our brain perceives this uncertainty. So it'll actively make it more difficult for us to go down the entrepreneurial path as it actively tries to avoid this uncertainty. Everything is rooted right there in the fear center of our brain, and this sends all the alarm bells ringing. Stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, all rushing through you, and that's not good for our health in the long term. If you're in a constant state of stress, that is not a good place to be. So our amygdala tries to keep us safe, you know, protecting us from all these things that just aren't a threat in this day and age, but genuinely trying to make out like it's a threat to our lives. It's not great. It's there for its intentions are good, but it's not great for us right now. But there is a little beauty in this backwards way of protecting us, because what happens is we actually grow and learn more during these times of uncertainty. And this is one of the reasons that pushing yourself outside your comfort zone is so beneficial, and why I'm always trying to make you guys do it, because we grow as people. We learn about what we can and can't predict, and learn more to be more okay with the lack of predictability, and in turn calm down our brain when that's a constant state that we're in. You know, we accept that we can't predict the outcome. So essentially, the more we do it, the better at it we become. But one thing is, trust is something you can believe in. When you trust that the outcome will be beneficial in some way no matter what, then again, you can learn to be more comfortable with uncertainty. You know, this is actually why so many entrepreneurs and these huge successful business owners that you read all these books, they all have such a strong spiritual side, because faith and trust are hugely important in constantly putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. And spirituality really has nothing to do with religion. You know, whatever spirituality means to you, or whatever trust means to you, whether that's utmost faith in yourself, the law of attraction, or some other kind of higher power, whatever it is, really doesn't matter, because the outcome is the same. Personally, for me, I have always had the belief that everything happens for a reason. So much so that it's tattooed on me. Shh, don't tell my mum. What am I saying? She took me for my first tattoo at 18. I genuinely believe that whatever happens in life, something good will always eventually come from it. I believe that we can choose to look for the positive and see all the benefits and all the ways that that negative thing has actually changed our lives for the better, or could change our lives for the positive, you know, and all the things that wouldn't be in our lives now had that bad thing not happened. I've lived it 100 times, so I know it to be true for me. Yeah, that's my truth, my trust, and my certainty. It doesn't have to be yours, but work out what yours is, work out what your belief is, because when you have that, everything becomes easier. I genuinely believe, you know, I could have a launch and it goes awfully and no one buys. No biggie. I just tweak and I move on. Whereas for other people that don't have that belief that you will learn something positive, that something positive will come from a negative situation, which one would you rather be? Yeah? So I went a little down the woo-woo path there, but not really. We're still good. Yeah? So a lot of us entrepreneurs didn't actually become entrepreneurs because we just wanted to, right? It's more because we felt like we needed to, like we were meant for more, you know, like life is too short to be doing something that you don't love. Yeah, we all know that we have certain gifts and talents to give to the world and problems that we can solve, and it would be absolutely selfish to keep to ourselves, right? But perhaps we also felt constrained by the traditional idea of a corporate career. Who knows? So many of us crave freedom, but we tie ourselves up in knots and actually end up creating something that feels like the polar opposite sometimes. You know, becoming an entrepreneur is the biggest lesson in self-development that you'll ever have. One of. Belief systems and stories you had no idea were there come straight to the surface while you try to figure out what it is that's actually holding you back. But you get really caught up in the practical, the facts, the certainty. Yeah, but there are certain ways that you can get certainty to a certain extent. Are you with me? So you can validate your idea, do your research, make sure you know that the problem you're trying to solve is a problem that needs solving. Yeah, that's number one. Get curious. What certainty are you actually looking for? You know, an experiment, you wait and you see what the outcome is. Positive, negative. It's whatever is meant to be, right? So turn uncertainty into trust. And for heaven's sake, don't fear the bumps and bruises along the way, because they are good for you. Yeah? I see so many people fearing the things going wrong. They are good for you. Trust me. They build resilience. They create growth. Bumps and bruises are brilliant. Yeah? Certainty will keep you waiting. You can't predict the future as much as you'd like to. Yeah? But focus on what is certain, your values. If you haven't worked out what your values are yet, go back to the previous episode and listen to that and work them out, because these will keep going. Yeah? Your values are certain. Accept what is and isn't within your control. And on the stuff that isn't, just tune into the trust again. Yeah? Stop looking at uncertainty. Now, here's a big one, and I want you to really listen to this. Stop looking at uncertainty as an inevitable negative. Yeah? When we get caught up in uncertainty, it's always thinking about the negative what ifs, all the things that could go wrong. But what if it all goes exactly how you want it to? What if is even better than you could ever have imagined? Yeah? It's not always an inevitable negative, right? Then always reconnect back to why you're doing this. Not the surface why, the big why. The last layer of the onion why. You know, the why under the why you tell other people. You know, that one of like, you say, okay, my why is I really want to help, you know, female entrepreneurs achieve everything they want. Why do you want to do that? And then keep asking yourself, why? And you will get to the crux of it. And then that is what is going to drive you. Okay? Yeah? Always reconnect back to this, because it's going to keep you going when things feel tough, which they do at times. It's not always a walk in the park, right? Sometimes it's super fun. Sometimes it's horrendous. Other times you're just trying to get through your to-do list. Yeah? It swings and roundabouts, but you can make it how you want to make it. You get to choose how you feel about it. You get to choose what you believe, what you think, and how it goes. If you can let go of all the what ifs, reframe how you think about the worst case scenario, and imagine the best instead, because you do get to choose to do that, then that is when it becomes more fun. And that is when things will feel more certain. Because certainty isn't something that we can have all the time. It's not. But we can find ways to create a little bit of it for ourselves. Yeah? So, I hope that was really helpful. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye! And as always, I hope that was helpful. So any questions, just let me know. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye! So, if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, I work with people one-on-one and through my Proactive Pants Mastermind. So stop waiting for if and when and decide to change things now, because you can.